So today we're going to talk about SEO, which is search engine optimization. SEO is the simplest and trickiest topic that we're going to go over. Just like any other topic, it's impossible for you to be completely proficient in it. Because it's not possible, because you can't be an expert with anything, but it's important that you know what's important on your website and what you need to make sure works on your website, whether you do it or you give it to someone else. And these are the principles that I'm going to take you through today. So just like, we talked about Udemy. We talked about Udemy. And I wanted to show you a specific course. It is right now up for $94.99, but I just recommend that you subscribe to Udemy, and they have very frequent sales, and it's going to be $10 in, I don't know, a week or two or 10 days or something. So just bookmark this, and as soon as they have a sale, buy this, just so that you can gain some understanding, in-depth understanding of SEO. So what is SEO? SEO is search engine optimization, which means without paying Google and the rest of our friends, how can you rank the top for your niche and for what you're selling? It's important because you want to increase search traffic to your site, and you want to rank at the top, and you want to dominate your niche. What's that? SH here. All right. This is why it's important for you, because you want to be findable by people that are looking for either your store name or the items that you're offering, right? And that is what SEO is all about. Search engine optimization. It means, just think about it, it's like Yellow Pages and submitting your store to Yellow Pages. You need to be clear enough in how your site is structured and designed so that Google or Bing or Yahoo or whatever engine says, oh, this is a Roni Rabl website. Roni Rabl is a wholesaler. She has Alambika, she has Grisas, she has Lauren Vidal. These are the brands she's offering. This is where you contact her. It's a way to describe Google what your site is about in a very clear way. So how do you do that? Your website basically needs to be indexed. It means that you're introducing your website to Google or whatever search engine that is, and you're doing it in a very clear way so that Google understand how it's structured and what you're offering. And it is also about making sure that Google understands that you're an expert with that specific topic or brand. Meaning, Alambika, we have, Roni Rabl is an expert, and we're the wholesaler and we're the sole distributors because we have a lot of pages around Alambika. So Google says, oh, she must know a lot about Alambika. If it's about dog food, it needs to be a site that clearly explains the dog food in the pages, in the title, in the description, everywhere. The search engine then determines how much of an expert you are. And there is a formula to this, but there isn't. There is a formula, nobody knows what it is, but there are components, and I will go over the components. Also, to make sure that they, are always getting money from you on the ad side, right? So that you're paying to be at the top by paying money. Google and their friends and other search engines are always changing how they're ranking pages. They're always changing it so that you always need to change and update your site in a way. This is the high level of it, but you don't really need to put your efforts on constantly chasing Google and their friends who are making changes to how search is done. You just need to make sure that when you look at the site, it is clear that you're providing specific brands, and each product page is optimized, and I will show you how. So just for the example, I've decided to use two brands that I really like and that I use and that I like to follow. One is ModCloth, and ModCloth are plus size, relatively cheap and young, and they're a very good example. And just like I encourage you to look at other brands, ModCloth is a brand that I would say go to Google, do a search, visit, see what they look like on Google, see what their website looks like, have a look at their social media, register for the email. They're a good example for you on how you can run your business and what you should look like. So you should try and, I'm not going to say copy, but learn from best practices from what they do. So as I went to Google and I just typed ModCloth and I got the ad, which means that they have paid Google to be first when someone is looking for ModCloth, because they don't want to risk someone not clicking on the first result. And then I got the organic, and this is the result of search engine optimization. So ModCloth, who are offering plus size clothing for a younger age range, they're saying, okay, dear Google, we're offering dresses for plus size. We're specialize in plus size. This means they have a specific one page that just talks about plus size. And they organized it in a way that tells Google, this is a very important page, Mr. Google. So know that we're experts in plus size. It's important that they also mentioned that they have a sale. So they have a sales page that is indexed by Google and is shown here. Shoes, new arrivals, and tops. These are the 6 topics that are in what we call the site XML. This is the technical term, but it's the site map that is being submitted to Google. So you don't need to build this map. You don't need to know where it is. The important question for you to know is when you go to Shopify, Lightspeed, Wix, each and every one of these, you call them and you ask them, is my site indexed on Google? And how can I make sure that whatever shows here in the green with the green checks is what I choose? Okay, so maybe you want to say for Roni Rabl, it will be Alembica, Grisas, Lauren Vidal. This is what we chose to highlight because we want stores that are looking for us to know which brands we offer. So think about what you want to highlight and then give a call to whoever provides the service to your website. Ask them if it's being indexed, and then ask them, how do you make sure that what's important to you is highlighted in the search results? All right. Just so you see, this is ModCloth. And again, I encourage you to visit them just to get some inspiration. This is a very, very, very important page. This is the product page, and it has a very significant weight with determining the SEO of the site. I'm just showing it to you because I want you to think about it as we go through this exercise right now.
Alin, somebody's asking.
Yeah.
Who do you call to ask about your site indexing?
Good question. So, is your site indexed? So for Shopify, I'm primarily, I know Shopify, so that's what I brought you their quote, which says, all Shopify stores automatically generate a sitemap. That's what we talked about, what they're submitting to Google that contains links to all the products, images, pages, collections, and blog posts, and that is used by search engine like Google and Bing to index your site. So if you're choosing Shopify, you don't need to do anything. It's done automatically for you. That step in the process is checked. There are other things that you need to do for SEO, which we'll talk about right now. But as far as you're concerned, this first step is covered. Those of you that use WordPress, I don't know if Marguerite is on the call, but you need to make sure that you have a plugin that is called All-in-One SEO. And you do need to submit the site to Google, and that's a technical thing that whoever manages your website needs to do for you, okay? I can show it to you, but it's extremely technical. So those of you that feel that they want to experiment with more technical stuff, I can show you how to do it. Wix, I actually don't know how it's done, and I was wondering if Leah might be on the call to share with us, but I haven't seen
yet.
Yet.
No.
Lightspeed, they're gonna share with us.
Sorry, I just was gonna let you know that I use Wix as well.
Okay.
I joined this call because I work closely with a boutique, so I don't own one myself, but I have several clients, and one in particular that carries out, is connected with you all and carries Alembica. And so that's why I've joined these calls. So I just thought I'd just give my 2 cents. I'm also a fan of Wix. And they seem to have a pretty seamless system. When any page you work on, there's a menu on the side that you can go into the SEO for that page or for a product. And so it's very well explained and very user-friendly to put it in. You know, it's not like Shopify where it's done automatically, but it is pretty user-friendly to get the information inputted. So
I'm going to add that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I've not used Wix, and at the beginning of their journey, they were known to not have a good SEO backup. So it's good to see that they fixed that user-friendly interface to help you index. That's great. Lightspeed will share how to do it on their demo in 2 days on Friday. And I don't know how it's done in Magento. Wendy, are you around to share? If you know, it's probably done by the third company that you've used, but
I think it's built into the site, and you can actually go ahead and submit it yourself by the click of a button, but it has to work in order to do that.
Okay, so thank you so much. The power of community, hive brain, right? So the important step is to make sure that whatever system you use, you have submitted it to Google, Bing, Yahoo, whatever search engine you're using. The next step is know your keywords. Which keywords are used by your customers to find the products? And really here, it's one of the longer exercises, and you need to think about how your audience is searching for your product. What sentences are they using? What words are they using? So you dedicate an hour and you sit with a page and you start writing down the brands, the items that you're selling, but then you need to start diving a little deeper. And this is where it kind of gets more interesting and more complicated. I have added a link for you for several ways for you to find about keywords. So one website that does it is Neil Patel. So first of all, it's been a few days that I wanted to do this and I keep forgetting. Neil Patel is a marketing guru. He has a podcast, a marketing podcast that you can find on your phone, 5 minutes a day, just 5 minutes. So I listen to him when I do my walks or when I'm cooking, and he talks about what you need, like quick things that you can do to improve your website or sell better. And he's extremely current. One of the topics that he talked about a few days ago was how the role of influencers is changing and how you should approach it. So he's great. Go to his website, Neil Patel. I have linked it to the presentation. It's called Uber Suggest, and you type in a word, and then you see exactly what's the volume, how much he suggests you pay for it, and then the cool thing is that it also gives you the top words that are used in this context, meaning whatever you see here are the top keywords that are being used. This is extremely helpful for your Google ads, as well as when you write your content. You want to write down these words, and every single time you are writing content for your website, you need to make sure you include this in a rational, relevant manner, of course. Otherwise, Google will understand that you're trying to spam it and will actually lower your points. But these are extremely important. You can see the cost of every word, all right? And you can see how much it's being searched for. So you can see all the keywords ideas and you can play around with it. It's great.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. The second tool that I'd like to recommend is Moz, M-O-Z. Moz are a destination for SEO. So if you want to learn SEO in depth, they're your guys, okay? I mean, but they're like the mecca of people that's their profession. SEO is what they do for a living. So there's no need for you to, learn a new, expect yourself. I'm not expecting you, and you shouldn't expect yourself to learn everything to the detail. A lot of the things here are extremely technical, but they have beginners courses, all for free. So, and it's just like reading one page at a time to explain to you about how to find keywords and exploring keywords. And they have a tool as well that shows you the use of those keywords. And it's, pretty similar to what I saw on Uber Suggest, which is great because it's validating that these keywords are very important. And then you know that you need to include those in your copy as well as in your Google ads. The next tool that you want to use is Google Trends and Google Keywords Planner. So actually, let's start with the Google Keyword Planner. Google Keyword Planner is accessible when you go to your when you go to your Google account and you click on the 9 dots and then you go to Google Ads. You sign into the Google Ads account that you have. And then you go to Tools and Settings. Of course, you wait for Google to respond, and it's a little slow. Tools and Settings. And then you go to Planning, and then you have Keyword Planner. Discover new keywords. Then you type. Perler beads, which is, it's like this new toy that is extremely popular with kids right now. So you see what's the volume, how much you should put in your Google advertising, but you also see related keywords. This will help you start building your lists of what are the keywords that need to be included in your website, and exactly where we will discover right now. I really warmly suggest that you go to Moz or to Udemy. Moz is free, so start with it today, and learn how to optimize for keywords, because it's not just the brand names that you're selling. You want to be able to get to the woman that is looking for rare jewelry from London, right? and you want to get to the lady that is looking for a comfortable and elegant, colorful dress. Okay, you want to be able to reach those, and that's extremely. It's not extremely, but it's a lot more complicated. But you can figure it out using this. The last tool that I want to show you, and I just like to use it for fun because it's great. It's just showing you what people are searching for. It's called Google Trends. And it's just showing the search volume. It gives you an indication what are people focused on right now. So these times it's not very hard to guess what people are focused on because there's exactly one topic for everyone to talk about. But this, it allows you to see exactly what people are saying on census. There's, what are they saying about Taylor Swift or Kim Kardashian? Which states are talking about Kim and which states are talking about Taylor Swift? I think I've mentioned it in one of our talks before. I know someone that what he does all day is to sit around Google Trends and see what people are asking for and what's bothering them. And that gives him an idea of his next startup, what he needs, what's his next idea is going to be. So it's a very sophisticated, extremely sophisticated way to try and see what people are looking for. But if you feel like you want to, this is a great way to do it.
Alin, can I ask a question that, please, if you have other questions, go ahead and text it because I will read it to Alin. Where are keywords growing? In description and content or?
That's a great question. So the bottom line answer is everywhere. But let me show you exactly where, which is the next slide. So once you have your keywords and you know what you're starting to populate your website is, so if you would go to Google Trends and you'd see that it's very one of the most popular questions are where can I find a comfortable, colorful dress made of techno? Then you do a blog post with the title, where can I find a black dress made of techno? Or 10 black techno dresses you should wear this spring. You're taking the questions and you're making them the titles of your blog post, all right? You're taking your keywords that you've discovered and you go through page by page and you make sure that they're there in a way that makes sense for the user. In the homepage, in the navigation, your business name needs to be there. The brand name needs to be there. In the brand pages, okay, the brand name needs to be there. A good description of the brand needs to be there. The designer needs to be there. I want to show you, yeah. So as you know, Net-a-Porter is it's a huge website, but it's a good example of what you should try to build into your website. So of course, the store name, Net-a-Porter, is here, and what they offer is in the navigation. They're offering designer clothes, clothing, shoes, bags, accessories, jewelry, lingerie, beauty products, and then they offer content. So when you build your homepage, you need to make sure, you need to think, what do you have more? Do you have more items, tops, dresses, pants, sweaters, or do you have more brands that you want to highlight? Or do you have few brands? I mean, if you have more than 7 brands, I'm not going to put them on the navigation. The thumb rule is 5 plus minus 2. So minimum 3 items, maximum 7 items. That's what the human brain can digest without exploding. This is a little too much, but it's okay. I mean, I guess we're stretching it with some websites. Right. So when you go into the navigation and you drill into the designers, all your designers need to be there, because that's telling Google and the user, we are offering this, we have that. Then if we say that we're looking at a specific brand page, the brand needs to be there. And this is a fantastic opportunity to tell Google that you're experts with that brand, because it gives a description about the brand, about the designer. You can put a picture of the designer. I mean, not more than one paragraph, okay? Because people are not reading and you don't want to bombard the page. One paragraph that uses the keywords. We're offering mod cloth dresses to all plus size ladies. You're checking, you're just marking, you're making sure that you're including all of the keywords in that description in a way that makes sense, right? I want to show you, yeah, so this is the product page, and then you have the products, okay? And then when you go inside the product page, this is the real deal, okay? Your product page is the most important page on your website, because this is where the transaction is going to happen. So the brand name is here, the description of what it is here, the price, the color, all right? And then there's an editor note, which is a fantastic opportunity for you, the store, to give your, you know, your personal flavor to that specific item. It's a description. It's a description of the item. It shows the other items that are shown on the picture, but it's a good, again, just one paragraph. You don't want to start writing stories that are going to tire people. And the most important thing people want to read are the fit description. That will also help you with returns. So we talked about it again before. I have a tendency to create fluff content, a beautiful item for you to enjoy on your days out in the sun. People want to read maybe one sentence of that, but then they want to know, you know, is it loose? Is it tight? Is it, you know, does it cover the knee? Does it not cover the knee? Does it cover the elbow? Is there a hidden opening that kind of reveals the waist? They want to know. Then there's a size and fit, details about the care, delivery and returns. And delivery and returns is always the same, but they're giving that information and they score bonus points with the user as well as with Google about for content that is delivered in a smooth and easy manner, okay? Now I want to show you another site that does it really well. Bravissimo. Bravissimo is a bras plus bra website. And again, I go to Google, I search for their name, and then it says, this is what we do. We offer lingerie and swimwear for women with bigger boobs, and it's indexed right. They're offering lingerie, swimwear, clothing, specifically dresses, probably because they know that plus size dresses is one of the hottest category and most sought after. And of course, people always want to get to the sales. So this is a great way to index your page. And again, when you think about your business, you want to say, okay, what are the 6 topics for me that I want to highlight? And then I click on it and I get to Bravissimo, and this is a product page. Bravissimo hold many different brands. So some bras are from Gossard and some bras are Bravissimo manufactured. So they mention the style number, the brand, the title of the product, which should not be more than 3-4 words maximum. You don't want to tire your people. Your customers, not people. You don't want to tire your prospects and customers, right? And really take time to think about the title of this. Okay, really take time, because it's people react to product titles extremely well if you give them interesting names and not just long sleeve jacket. or black dress, okay? But you give it some flavor. That's one more thing that will make people attach to your site and not to another site. And it will also tell Google what you're offering, which is what we're here to talk about. Then it has a description again, and it's describing the fit in great detail, but it also has nice style of the way they write it. The details, what it is exactly, and stretched lace, imported, fits, underwire, as many details as possible. And again, the delivery and returns, which is exactly, their delivery is exactly the same for all brands, but they're adding it here as well, just as extra for websites and user points. More importantly, they have what's available in terms of sizes, matching styles, which is great. But here's another point. Here's something else to help them score more points with Google when I'm going to be looking for plus size bra. There are a lot of reviews for the bra. Reviews also help with forming an optimal product page and contribute to higher scores on Google, because Google says, oh, okay, they're saying that they're offering bras. I can see they told me that they're offering lingerie and swimwear for plus size ladies. I can see that they have 738 pages that talk about bras. I see that they have 300 pages that talk about Gossard brand within. I can see that they have a lot of reviews, which means they're popular, which means they're current, which means they are going to be relevant to whomever is looking for a plus size bra. So I'm going to offer this at a higher ranking on Google. All right. So yeah, this is a great way to include the keywords in your website. Homepage, navigation, the collection page, be it dresses or the brand name, and the product page. That's the bare bones of a website. Even if you have 10 products, make sure that those are done well. All right. Any questions around that so far? I see that there's some in the chat. Yeah, did we cover?
Yeah,
okay,
we answered them all.
Good. The next thing that I'm going to talk about with context of SEO is content. And as we know, content is queen. And today, whoever serves content is ranked higher and is considered to be a better, more wholesome service, all right, for the consumer and hence for search engines. So the content and the keywords, they need to be, as we discussed, in the product description. Please take your time and craft those well. In the blog and in articles, okay? So let's look. I want to share a website that Yael and I like to explore, and that's Dora. Dora is a website that was built by a Brooklyn girl, and she's much more focused on content. But as you can see, so her navigation is mostly content, but she also offers a way to shop. And I encourage you to explore the way Dora is offering her content, because she's talking to a younger lady than we're talking about, but she's still she's not this one specifically might be a little young, but her audience is 35, 45, I would say, and she curates content. So she has a group of people that are followers and friends, and they write the content, and it's just this it's a nice community of content that and people that are talking about fashion and beauty and lifestyle from a non-professional angle necessarily, but one that the audience can resonate with. So I know that you're only, maybe, you're one, it's just you, or it's you and two more people that are doing it. But again, that's where I would say this is why you need to know your community and who your shoppers are. And I bet that for every store here on the call, there is at least one customer that is a fanatic, avid writer that writes to the drawer and would love to publish whatever they wrote. And one way to discover this is to become their friends on Facebook and Instagram. And you go and you find the person that publishes a lot and talks a lot and expresses themselves a lot because they want to share and they have something to share. And you find them and you ask them to maybe you want to join and write for my blog. It's not about money. It's not about that. It's about, doing something beautiful together. So, Doris, she's talking about what alcohol really does to your skin. I don't want to know because I'm drinking. So I'll read another article. But you see, this is a great way. So she uses advertising to generate extra cash, which is not a bad idea. And then there are more articles that are contributed, Toni Morrison, which is, I think, everybody's favorite topic, hair care, everybody's favorite topic, sweat, and then it's just this really, really great content. And why is content so important? Because it generates extra interest, because it creates a connection with your audience, and because it gives you a way to tell Google, I am the expert with this. So if you go to Google Trends or Google Keywords and you see that there are a lot of women, females that are in the age of 50 and 65 asking a specific question, you take that question, you make it a title in your blog, and you write a blog post about it. And that way you serve the community, and you're going to get you're going to score points with Google for doing that. Just some topics that you can, you can, if you don't find that person, the Dora one to help you, blog ideas, outfit styling tips with accessories, how-tos, how to style, how to pack, how to take a look from day to night, take the same top, put it in 2 ways, and just I'm going to give you I forgot the word, but next week we're going to have a guest here she's a photographer, and she does really great selfies, and she's going to teach you all how to take spectacular photos from home and look fantastic. So you can start generating those blogs like this, okay? Collections, inspirations, and designs when you launch a new season. And you can talk about personal stuff. It doesn't have to be just about clothing. Coping with loss, thankfulness, mindfulness, gratitude, prayer, healthy aging, healthy living, caring for a loved one, dealing with changes of the body, menopause, stuff that people, they're all experiencing it, but they don't always like to talk about it, but they want to read about it so that they can resonate with you. More ideas, ageless topics, weight loss, healthy body image, beauty, skincare, healthy cooking, yoga. I think we've mentioned this practically on every single call. New fabrics, tekbika, talk about tekbika, why it's special, why you want to use it for travel, why is it good for travel. And you also, that's where you pepper things on how to pack. How do you pack tekbika? It doesn't wrinkle. That's great. Interviews with key influencers and notable figureheads and celebrities. So endless topics, and that will help you cover your keywords list. And I would say, be mindful with how you're using the keywords. Okay, you don't want to. You don't want to spam the page and not make any sense, because people and Google are going to look at it and say, this page doesn't make sense, and they're just babbling and they're not giving me any real value here. So I I would say there's some I would there's not a conclusive there's not a conclusion that this is the right way to do it, but I would recommend 1,100 words, between 300 and 1,100 words for blog. And Yael and I always have that discussion. Does it have to be 1,100? It's very long. It's a long, but I can tell you also an anecdote about a business. I have not worked directly with them, but I had a chance to engage with them, and they established themselves as event planners and event software for event planners, simply by they offered an application, and then on their website they had a huge learn section, and in that section they had a gazillion of these blog posts that talk about how to create engaging events and where to go and special places and special catering and special entertainment and special music, blah, 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 all of that, just by creating those really rich articles. And as a side note, there is a chapter in SEO about link building, which means a page that has a lot of content and is also linking to other sources is extremely rich and provides the most information to the reader. That's why it's ranked high. That's the gist of it. I'm not going to talk a lot more about it, but if you want to learn more about it, it's all in the resources that I've shared here. And when we talk about blog post format, I would, just ideas. You can do an interview. You're interviewing one of your community personas, the cook or the yoga or the makeup or all of these services that we've mentioned several times. Lists, top 10 dresses for cocktail, top 10 dresses for a theater, top 10 dresses to wear in the morning for a meeting with when you're meeting your friend for coffee, as well as in the evening when you go to a hot date with your husband or your lover. Traditional long form, we talked about that. That's the storytelling. That's the 1,100 words. Short form, that's where where Yael and I we were like, do we have to do this long blog post? Okay, let's do a 300 words, but a lot of pictures of a new collection or one specific item. Highlighting one specific item is extremely useful. Eileen Fisher does it very well. Look at what she's doing. She takes just one product, and she's, it's a very short email, one product, and that's it. She talks about, I think a few days ago I saw she had a blog post or social media or email or all of these. We're talking about a jacket that she's been selling for 35 years and why is it still useful. Great topic. Checklist.
Question.
Yeah, sure.
Is it a good time now?
Yeah.
Because it's because you're talking about the blog, so I thought it would be a good timing.
Yeah.
2 questions. One, then blog exists on the website beneath the navigation, not the old idea of separate blog, right? Where does a blog go when you put up another one? That's one question.
Why would you put another one?
Sandy, you mean the next blog, right?
Oh, post.
Yeah, she's talking about the blogs, like a blog after a blog.
Post. So there's the blog.
Yes. And how often should we do blogs? Another question.
Yeah. Sadly, those 2 brands they don't have a blog, but I would say, your navigation, Sandy, could look something like tops, dresses, pants, sweaters, blog. And then all the new posts are generated under that blog. And oh, you know what? Let's look at this website here. Okay. I'm trying to showcase other brands, but they're not doing a good job. So.
How many times is the other question? How many times should we blog?
Yeah, good question. So this, you see, this is our website. So our story. Again, the mother-daughter, fantastic, fast. So it's the personal angle, but it's also mentioning the brands that we have, which tells Google that this is what we do, wholesalers of those brands. The brands are detailed here in the navigation so that Google understands that these are the brands that we're selling. Visual showroom is a link to buying, to ordering online, and here's the blog. All right. Specifically for this time, we've separated the digital power hour just because everybody was asking where they can find all the previous recordings. So it's there, but in normal times, it would just say blog. All right, click on that. And then you can see all the new posts. So every time we add a new post, Sandy, it's being added here.
Okay.
Frequency, well, frequency, not less than once a week. Try. I mean, it's hard, I know. It's to write something, and but even if you just do a paragraph about a new collection or a specific item and you put the pictures, it's better than not updating at all, okay? We update our blog around, well, now we do it daily almost, but I would say 3 times a week, which is a sane enough way for us. If I could, we would have done it every day, but there's, you know, a capacity. But 3 times a week is good. It's good enough. We also don't want to bombard people with content. This is not what we do. We're not a media outlet, right? So find that balance between once and 3 times a week. And we try for it to be a mix of, you know, look of the week. So we're offering, yeah, this is a little, this is the, all of the, this is not normal times. Okay, so let's look at normal times. This is right now all about the digital power hour. Oops.
It's Corona again.
Yeah, that Corona is not leaving. The question around how often to update. I mean, every time you update the website, it's telling Google that your site is up to date. So it's current, so it's useful, so it should display it higher. So that's why any kind of adding items or adding blog posts or adding something to the website, like once a day or several times a week, tells the website, tells Google, this is a current site. I should display it higher because it's more relevant. So find the balance. Older posts, let me see. All right. Yeah, so we do one post that is look of the week, and we're highlighting a specific look. Or where, you know, here we told the story of the ladies in Alambika that are doing the actual clothes, that are sewing the clothes. This is, you know, JNBY. This is when we donated to an organization during March 8th, International Women's Day. Yeah, interestingly enough, a post from Yael about the outbreak of Corona and how it's relevant to us. It's not just something there that we need to ignore. We're letting everyone know about winter 2020 that has arrived. And so take that and, you know, copy it, model it to your store. New collection has arrived. Here's an item from Jean Wei. This is what it looks like here, there. And again, next week we'll have Bianca here. She's going to teach us how to take selfies and look fantastic. We're not going to look 20. So, you know, if you take the phone and you do this experiment, like if you do it from the bottom, then you look, you know, 10 years older, 5 years older, you know, more or less what you are, 5 years younger, 10 years younger, 20 years younger. So that's one secret.
We have questions for you.
Yeah.
Ready?
Sure.
Okay, so good question by Katie. Let's see what you're saying to her, so I can learn too. So that is a lot of energy, Alin, to post a new blog even once a week, and I agree with you, Katie. Is there a measurable way to see a benefit? That's question number 1, and I'll continue to ask you when you're done with this one.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say, Alin?
The measurable benefit is to go to your analytics and to go to your traffic and see if traffic has increased during the days when you promoted the blog. You're not going to see the benefit of SEO on the day. No, it's going to be it's like a diet. It's an accumulated benefit.
Yeah.
Do it once a week, do it once a week, do it once a week. I mean, I can tell you that, Yael has been doing Thought of the Week once a week for 6 years? Oh my God, that's crazy. But it has a significant impact on the searchability and on the content that we have on the website. It has a huge benefit. I'm not even talking about the community benefit. I'm talking about, it's great. And this is where you'll see the benefit. Now, Katie, when you're putting it on the blog, you're not just putting it on the blog. You're putting it on your social media. You're putting it on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. You're updating it on the homepage, maybe, if you want to highlight, if it's a product and you want to highlight it. And you're putting it, when you have your email sent to your customers once a week, then at the bottom of the email, once you're done talking about whatever you want to talk about in that specific email, there's a link to the blog. And that goes back to the question around where should a blog link be placed. And we talked with several people and with consultants. And there are two theories. One is that it should be at the top because this is what customers are looking for. They want to read the blog. And there's a theory that says, no, it should actually be at the footer, because the role of a blog is to bring people to the website. So you created the content, you're promoting it on social media, you're promoting it on email. The job is done. It's a hook. It's a hook to draw people. Katie, do you have Google Analytics?
Sorry, I was yes. Do I really understand it? Heck no. And have two people that help me with this. So I'm making a list of things to ask them about. We've got it, but I can't tell you much about it.
Yeah, but it's such a good comment.
You don't need to tell me about it. I'm just asking you if you have it. If you have it, this is the tool that will tell you. I can see when I publish blog posts that there's a spike in visitors to the website because we put interesting content and we're drawing people into the website. And that's one way, okay, to look at it. So that should tell you the spikes in the visit, unless you're publishing the entire content on the social. If you're publishing the entire post on social media, no one's going to come to the website to read that, right? But if you're publishing a snippet and the rest of it is on the website, that's your hook to draw people into the site.
And I would add, I would agree with Katie also, it is hard because many times when we discuss content, I always insist if I have nothing to say, I'm not going to say anything. So once a week for me, it's a lot, but I agree. It's like you have to be authentic. We talked about it. Like, what do you want to say? And the other question, Alin, for you, should we remove old blogs? If so, how many would we keep?
No. You're trying to build. You're trying to tell Google, I have 12,000 pages on my website. I'm a very rich website. I offer content. I have a blog, my own blog that goes back to 2008. I will never delete, and I don't use that blog right now because I'm too busy. It's called Sleepless. I'm going to show you. Sleepless in social. And I did it in 2008, and social media. I will never ever get rid of the blog or the content, because this is telling Google, hey, Alin has been doing social media since 2008. Not to say that in this way, but just to say, this is the juice. This is, this goes all the way back to May 2008.
And the other question,
you should have this on your blog to show and start today, because in 5 years' time, it's going to be 5 years away. So it's going to have that mileage. Absolutely never. No. Don't do
Okay, hold on. Sandy, what's the question? You look lost. What happened?
I'm going to do this. Stop
Hold
sharing.
on.
Yeah, because
Sandy has a question. Yeah.
Okay, so you showed us your blog, which is a separate site. It has its own .com. What we're talking about, what you're advising us to do, is to have a blog that exists on the website and that we kind of hint about and titillate about on all of our other social media.
correct. Like I showed on the Roni Rabl one.
Right. So it's not although you showed us your separate.
I
This is
showed the
not-
separate. Maybe I confused you just to show you that there's, you know, a mileage, and
Right.
the mileage is important to Google.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. It's
Yeah,
great
but
that you have
you
that.
should have your blog on your store, on the domain, in this, you know, I usually try to push Shopify. This is where they fail. This is their weak spot.
Oh.
Their blog. The blog that Shopify offers is extremely simple. All right, and it doesn't have the robust capabilities of WordPress. All right. So, but you can still work with it. I don't know if anyone on the call is using Shopify blog. I mean, we're using Shopify blog, but
So what
this
you
is like their
posted
weaker
of
spots.
Yael, what you posted of Yael on Roni Rabl, that's on the Shopify.
No, that's actually WordPress. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's why I love. That's why I told you, Sandy. I told you WordPress is the husband or the lover. One of those.
I know.
Yeah. Shopify is the other one. So one excels in content, one excels in selling. And first of all, you're selling. If you're not selling, people are not gonna come to, you know, you don't want to bother about the content, right? So that's why I'm saying you should use Shopify because it does it best. I mean, Lightspeed and Magento and others as well, okay? But I'm just saying, when you go to the blog, you'll need to do a little bit more work on it.
And Marina is asking, and I think, Marina, you know the answer, but we'll repeat it because it's important. Can I use my weekly email content to be a blog? It's what we said, like thought of the week will go also, right? As a blog.
Our thought of the week goes on email, and then we put it on the blog as well. Because a lot of people just, you know, they, you know, forgot, want to refer back. They go to the blog and it's there.
So Marina, you're good with that. And another question, how important is the blog? How often do the clients who visit the site go on the blog?
That's your analytics. They will tell you. So we can do a separate session about analytics, Google Analytics. It's very, very, very important that you have Google Analytics and that you visit it at least once a week to see what people are doing on your website and where they're coming from. You know, one interesting thing that you can find in Google Trends is which are the states that are keying specific keywords. It's very important for you to know when you're doing Google ads, right? When you're doing targeting. Google Analytics. Yes. So we'll do a deep dive into Google. So let's say next week we can do Google Analytics. Also for next week, we have Bianca to teach us how to take amazing selfies of ourselves and look, you know, spectacular. We're going to do a session about email. I know, Andrea, you started talking about Klaviyo. So I will try to bring a rep from Klaviyo. If not, I'm just going to show you Klaviyo. We're going to talk about MailChimp. I like MailChimp a lot, even though they don't work with Shopify anymore. Yeah. And we're going to do our community, regular community on Monday. So this is the plan for next week.
What's tomorrow, Alin?
Tomorrow, we're going to look at specific user flows and how you need to, when you're, it's kind of like a matrix that we're building, right? We talked about the website. We talked about social media. We talked about, we're going to talk about email. This is like where you're putting your content, but the people that visit your website, your prospects and customers differ, and each one needs to have a different experience. So what is the experience of a new visitor, and what's the experience of someone who visited but has not purchased? And what's the experience of someone who purchased only once, and someone who's a VIP, who's been a great loyal customer for you and you want to reward them. So we're going to talk about how you need to start planning for what each of them sees on the website, social, email.